Welcome to the Subkarma channel. My name is James Soames and I'm a brand consultant in Taiwan. As you may recall in episode 7, we looked at the meaning of MIT, or Made in Taiwan, and we reflected on whether the term Born in Taiwan would be more appropriate given the care and the heart that goes into Taiwanese products and services. The overwhelming and unexpected positive response that I received from most of you seems to validate a general desire to show the world who Taiwan really is. But is this the best it gets? A desire and an approval? A simple nod of the head and a clap of hands? Or are we finally going to take the Taiwan brand forward from here for real? In this episode, we will discuss why branding Taiwan is a big, yet not unsurmountable challenge. We will look at where it is possible to make positive changes and where we really have our work cut out. So my question today is, can Taiwan upgrade its brand image? And if so, what is it and where do we start? Now, just before we get going, allow me to do a little test. I would like you to think about the word that immediately comes to mind when I mention France. Picture that word in your mind as you stare at the screen. Did I get it right? I'll probably never know for sure, but I would bet that there is an 80% chance that you were thinking about romantic or 浪漫. Now let's try again. Make sure that you're fully focused again. And please think of the word that comes to mind when I mention Taiwan. Again, fix your thoughts on the screen. Think hard. Am I correct? Or was it this one? Or maybe this one? There are two main points to take from this fun test. The first is that there are a handful of countries who have established very clear and consistent brand associations over the years. The second is that the Taiwan brand has neither clarity nor consistency. So let's look at our first point. Whether it is France, with its air of romance, the joie de vivre, its love of food and wine, or Germany, with its attention to quality and standards, or Japan, with its love of intricate detail and culture, there are some countries who have consistently understood what works for them, and as society have embraced these associations. Most importantly, their corporations and brands have adopted them wholeheartedly as part of their own identity, thus communicating them consistently to their global markets. Now, I would also add that these countries' brands associations have developed over decades, if not centuries, of consistent behavior, communication, and imagery. Now, it's important to note, however, that these brand associations may fall short of reality. I mean, is France really a romantic country? Maybe. Is it the most romantic country in the world? I think the Italians may take umbrage of this. In fact, what matters is that romantic is what springs to our minds when you see the word France or Made in France. It's about perception. The truth here is only secondary in this case. Does this sound like the world we live in? No comment. So what about our second point? That the Taiwan brand has no clarity or consistency of message. Well, ask a foreigner who has never been here to close his or her eyes and think of Taiwan, and the chances are that he or she will probably fall asleep before thinking of an adjective. So why doesn't Taiwan have a clear international brand image? Well, if I had all the answers, I wouldn't be sat all alone in this studio with no friends. However, my guess is that there are three main issues at play. Let me elaborate. First, Taiwan has always been an outward-looking country. Whether it is because it depends on exports to the world or whether it is because the island craves recognition from outside, you, my friends, you have grown up with your eyes fixed beyond these shores. And you may have somewhat forgotten what your own identity is. But in the same way that you never forgot to pack your datong rice cooker when traveling abroad to study, there is something in your heart that reminds you of where you are born. And it doesn't matter if we don't know how to define that something right now, because we will get to it in one of our future episodes with your help. Now, we just need to look at ourselves more, acknowledge who we really want to be as a brand or as Taiwan. And second, Taiwan's international image has suffered from inconsistency. So please do not take this from me, but a quick search online will show how many different messages about Taiwan are floating around. And this, I dare say, is not ideal. You see, for a brand to be memorable and effective, it needs to be simple and consistent. For years, Thailand has promoted itself as the land of smiles. Well, it worked. Unfortunately, there goes our attempt to brand Taiwan as friendly. Korea is emerging as the Asian center of pop culture and fashion, driven by hordes of fanatical Gen Z fans online, globally. Now there goes another opportunity. We couldn't build on our pop success from the 90s. Good brands can be described in few words, and the government, regardless of its color, has a big responsibility to make that happen, to streamline the message, to communicate it consistently across all departments, and to let it shine into the world. Challenging? Yes. Impossible? I don't think so. My final point here is that there is too much going on in Taiwan. This land is such a melting pot of traditions and cultures, a place where new ideas are embraced and integrated with old traditions. Perhaps due to its geographic location at the heart of Asia, or perhaps because we're so open to the world, Taiwan is always evolving and morphing. And that's what makes the Taiwan brand so difficult to pin down. Do you remember the Asia Games opening ceremony in Taipei a few years back? The ceremony which was broadcast all over the world? The ceremony which was our big opportunity to showcase who we thought we were at the time as a nation, as Taiwan? Yes, a hot pot. I hate to say it though, but it is hard to disagree with this analogy. It was true then, and it's still pretty true today. Remember the words you thought about at the beginning of this segment describing Taiwan. Was it food? Friendly? Convenient? I'm sure that we could drop all these words into boiled water and create a really tasty Taiwan hot pot. Taiwan is more than the sum of its parts, as I have been beginning to realize, and I hope you have too. To sum it up, we have only just started scratching the surface of Taiwan's branding efforts. This year is a good time to pause for a moment and take a good long look at ourselves. In our next episode, we will be looking in more detail at how to communicate Born in Taiwan to the world. We will be delving into the questions about who we are and who we want to be over the course of this year and beyond. And we will be inviting you to share your thoughts with us as well. So you can start by clicking on our subscribe button if you like, and also by clicking on our cake survey link in the description below, and let us know how you personally picture the Taiwan brand. We will share the results for all to see. So come on, proud Taiwanese people, join us. Together, let's transform Taiwan from hot pot to hotspot. It's just an extra S. Thank you for watching, and God bless.